Back with you here on the postgame show here at Quincy University. The Hawks top Missouri S&T, and now we're joined by head football coach Gary Bass. What a football game today, Coach. 31-28, your team comes out on top. The big pick six by Kenshawn Bragg, the 50 yards taking it to the house, and you come up with a hard-fought win, 1-0 in GLVC play.
Yeah, that was a game that we needed to win that way. We've not had a game so far in the last few years where we got behind early. Because of some big plays in offense, we kind of stalled out early, and for us to be able to battle back and claw and do things with special teams, defense, and key plays in offense was pretty cool to see. So I couldn't be more proud of our guys. I cried when I was sitting down there in the huddle, because one thing I told them was like, guys, there's two things I wish I could do over as a head coach, but you know, it's always easy to second guess yourself. You'll learn, we'll grow, and we'll get better for next week.
And speaking of getting better and doing things well, your defense coming up with just some huge plays. The 1 yard line, Missouri S&T getting ready to score, and Trayvon Rhodes and Will Henniger all over it.
Those guys played on a mission this week. After last Saturday and not playing well and things of that sort, to see those guys, us win because of them, was absolutely unbelievable to see. Missouri S&T is a good football team. They really, really are. Our defense was up to the task. Offensively, we did enough. We got a lot to clean up on offense, but special teams was our ace in the hole early on. We were able to make them have to drive full lengths of the field to be able to try to score early on. So hats off to our kids. They played their tails off, and I did not find a way to screw it up. Thank God.
With your special teams, Sharon Cunningham doing a great job returning at a 50-yard return, over 30 yards on the return today for him. I mean, he's giving your team great field position. You started in S&T territory 5 times today.
Yeah, I know one of the biggest things for us that we were worried about coming into this game was their return guy. He had one kickoff return for a touchdown. He had a couple others that were close, and that's how they started a lot of games. So for us to be able to kind of take one of their biggest weapons and make him a moot point was huge for us. And for us to be able to come out covering like we did on kickoff, getting some returns by Saran, and then also CP had some good returns on punt return as well that helped us set us up in short field. So very proud of our guys. Special teams was a huge ace in the hole for us today, and defensively they played lights out. Very proud of those guys.
That defense is going to need some rest maybe. 40 minutes they were on the field,
yeah.
Coach. I mean, 40 minutes of possession for S&T, 20 for Quincy, but of course, all that matters is the points on the scoreboard, right, Coach?
Yeah, we've got to do a better job offensively of sustaining drives. Early on in that game, we didn't do a great job being able to line up and run the football at them. I mismanaged the end of that one drive before. I mean, offensively, when you're a tempo offense and you throw the football and you get into those 4-minute situations, it's a little bit more difficult. You're not used to it. You're not built to do it like we used to be whenever I was the offensive coordinator. So for us, it was pedal to the metal, and we got to run our offense. I think sometimes coaches overthink that sometimes and try to change exactly what their identity is. And thank God our defense came out and bailed me out on some questionable decisions on my end at the end of that game. So very proud of those guys.
S&T misses the field goal at the end of the game to try to tie it and force an overtime from 40 yards from that left hash, Coach. And once that happened, you knew victory formation was in effect. And did you feel, I know you talked about this, a goal for your football team. You set out a lot of your goals, but one of them was win homecoming. That was your first goal, and now that's achieved for you and your football team.
Yeah, well, homecoming was huge. All the alums coming back. I can't tell you how many people I've had the opportunity to meet and see this week that haven't been here in forever. And for us to be able to win and the way we won, it couldn't be more exciting. I mean, as a coach, you never like it going down to the end like that, because I think I'm going to give myself a heart attack sometimes. But I'll take a win any day of the week, however you want to slice it and dice it, and whatever it looks like. As long as it's a W at the end, I'll be happy.
Another game, another couple more touchdowns for Eugene Witherspoon, Coach.
Yeah, what is it, 10 now through 5 games? That kid he's got a knack for just getting open. I don't know how he does it. But we got some things we got to clean up on offense. We didn't play great. Tion got a little rattle in the pocket, but he's such a good football player. He was able to do some things and make enough plays for us. And our run game in the second half was huge. A big run for Tremaine Lee, and we had another one towards the end of the game as well. So we got to get those guys rolling so we can make it a little bit easier on the O-line up front.
Last question, I'll let you celebrate, Coach. You told me earlier, first couple games you were without your best player on your football team, or at least one of them, Peyton Chappell. 16 tackles today. I mean, you talk about being on a mission. It seemed like he was just going crazy today.
Peyton is one of those guys that just has a knack for finding the ball. But throw that out there. Our defense, when he's on the field, is just different. I mean, he's a phenomenal football player. He's a phenomenal young man, and It's funny, we get to that third down at the end, and Coach, we've got it. Looks me dead in the face, says, we've got this. And as a head coach, you're like, oh, thank God. He's back there. And then the crazy thing was they were going to line up and go for it, and actually ran quarterback sneak and got it, but had called a timeout. So that gave us a little bit of added advantage there as well to be able to ice that kicker a little bit. So it's beneficial for us.
Talked about there were basically 3 big decisions.
Yeah.
And you were kind of cursing yourself for the way that at the end. Going for it on 4th and 2, what was the thought process?
The biggest thing for me, Mikey's done such a good job, but as a head coach, and I'm sitting here going, all right, well, there's so many things that can go wrong when you attempt a field goal. Bad snap, block kick, return the other way. I think it's easy to sit back and look at yourself, but I'm mad at myself for that one. I'm mad at that. The second one for me is we should have lined up and ran the football at the end of the game.
About 3 minutes left to go in the ball game.
And that's one of those things when you are what we do on offense, there's that, okay, do you try to get outside your mold, or you just do what you do? And I think sometimes this is a good learning curve for all of us, myself included, and thank God it's one with coming off a win, not sitting here kicking myself at the end of the game going, well, it's my fault. This shouldn't have happened. And I told the kids this when I was crying after the game. I was sitting there going, thank you for not letting me hose you. And they're a special group of kids. They really are.
Talk about what it's like to watch that field goal get kicked at the end of the ball game.
I didn't. I looked the other way. I couldn't watch it, and then our kids erupted, and it was kind of like the William Jewell game in 2019 when we got that 4th and 21 conversion to give ourselves a chance to still win a ball game, and it was huge. I was just like, oh, thank God, they let me off the hook. So thank God for that.